Fox Sports.
We are Black Force. We are South.
Welcome to Hyundai Sunday, presented by your Atlanta Hyundai dealers.
Welcome into a beautiful Hyundai Sunday here at SunTrust Park as we get you ready for the series finale between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. And of course, it is Chipper Jones Hall of Fame Sunday. That's right, number 10 today is getting the highest honor you can get in baseball. Our incredible Fox Sports crew will be bringing you special coverage all day, so make sure to stay tuned to that. And welcome in, I'm Kelsey Wingert. Like I mentioned, we're getting you ready for the series finale between the Braves and the Dodgers. Atlanta enters today sitting at 54 and 47. They're 2.5 games out of first place behind the Phillies, and Sean Newcomb will try to get them back on track in Game 4 versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chip and Joe with first pitch are coming up next.
offers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. By Delta Airlines. And by Synovus, the bank of here.
Bloopers ready for Game 4 of our series between the Braves and Dodgers. A crystal clear sky overhead as we join you from SunTrust Park. Chip and Joe. Time for the Braves to solve the Dodgers. It's been tough head-to-head for Atlanta in this series, Joe, and all year long. Let's see if Sean Newcomb is the man with the right stuff in Game 4 today.
Let's hope he is, Chip, because the Braves definitely need a W coming out of this series and going into the series with Miami tomorrow. But let's hope for some runs too. It kind of has to work together. But all year long, I think the offense has done a real good job of covering up any deficiencies anywhere else in the Braves game. But right now, the hitting is struggling. So it's really kind of, I guess, manifested itself into this losing streak of 4 games. They'll need to stop it today.
Yeah, just 10 runs for Atlanta in their last 6 home games. That hopefully will not be the case for Sean Newcomb, who looks to have a redeemer, Joe. He was really frustrated with the way he pitched last time out against the Dodgers in Los Angeles. That was way back on June the 10th. He is coming off a win in his last outing against the Marlins down in Miami.
Well, he went through that stretch right before the All-Star break where he was not pitching his best. He was really good in the months of May and June, or April and May, I should say, and relying on that changeup that he's throwing a whole lot more this year than he threw last year, and very effective. But it was like he lost the touch and feel a little bit on the changeup in that down stretch. Had it back against Miami in his last start when he only gave up 1 run in 6 innings and got a W. His 4 keys to the success today, well, it's pretty obvious. The Braves need a stopper, and he's been pretty good at that after a Braves loss, by the way, and use that changeup against this good hitting team.
And you're right, Sean Newcomb 7-1, a 195 earned run average this year when pitching immediately after a Braves loss. So
great sign.
He does have the stuff to be a stopper, and let's see what he does against the high-flying Dodgers, who look for their 60th win today. LA is on a 6-3 road trip that wraps up today. They fly back home and open up a series with Milwaukee next at Dodger Stadium. So Chris Taylor leads off, the shortstop batting .260. 5 hits in this series, and we are underway outside ball 1. Wow, very comfortable, 84 degrees and first pitch in Atlanta. A delightful day to be at the ballpark, as Newcomb has his first strike on a swing and a miss. Taylor hitting .237 this year, by the way, against lefties.
Crowds on the homestand have been awesome too, haven't they?
Sellout last night. Braves have a chance to go over 1.5 million in attendance with a big crowd today. Last night was the, I believe, 11th sellout. As this one's lifted toward right. Long run for Nick near the line, still coming. He's going to get there on the running track. Good start. So Taylor's retired. That brings up Manny Machado. He's batting second for Dave Roberts on the Dodgers Toyota starting lineup. Dodgers are a 1.5 games in front of Arizona. Matt Kemp, Kike Hernandez, Max Muncy at first base for Bellinger with a lefty on the mound. Grandal, Puig, Forsythe, and Stripling, the lower part of the batting order. And I shortchanged the Braves. It's 12 sellouts for Atlanta. In fact, last night, every seat was sold. Every standing room space was sold for Game 3. It was great. Machado with 5 hits in the series. He too with a home run. That'll be a key for Newcomb today. Keep the ball in the ballpark against the Dodgers. LA's hit 13 home runs in the first 6 games against the Braves this year. No swing. And Machado ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. Count in on his hands a bit, and it's fouled away. 2-1 the count.
Sometimes for Sean, his fastball grows as the game goes along. He usually starts off 91, 92. He's already at 94 today.
That split the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, LA having a heck of a road trip. Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Atlanta. They're 6-3 on this trip. And then they head home for the Brewers and the Astros. So a real tough stretch for the Dodgers, who at one point this year were 9 games under 500. But Dave Roberts' club has come charging back. 9 games out of first place. They've picked up 10.5 games in the standings. They lead Arizona now by a game and a half as Machado's down swinging for the second out.
Good fastball. He's establishing that early. Right there. Good start for Sean.
So Matt Kemp's up. Matt 0 for 9 in the series. 17 homers, 64 knocked in, batting .307, good for 9th in the league. Matt Kemp is 1 homer shy of 200 as a Dodger. And he's a little late, fouled that back. Kemp had a chance for a couple of RBIs last night, but robbed by Peter Moylan on a comebacker in the 7th inning. A 105-mile-an-hour line drive that Moylan speared and converted to a inning-ending double play.
Scared all of us. I don't know if Peter had time to be scared.
And that's foul out of play by Kemp. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Peter said he had a very good look at it off the bat, but it wasn't a long look.
No.
It got there in a hurry. And that was a big play in the game before the Dodgers broke it open, winning 5-1. And Newcomb missed high, ball 2. That's bounced off Braves catcher Kurt Suzuki. Will do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Economy will be a key for Sean, as is often the case. And he's getting outs out of innings, 16, 17 pitches. He's got a chance to have a very good day. And if this one's fielded cleanly, that's exactly what will happen. Long toss across in time, retires Kemp. And Newcomb has a 1-2-3, top of the first. We're underway in Atlanta. No score. Sunday with the first chop here at SunTrust Park. Braves are trying to snap a 4-game losing streak here in game 4. They've got a tough hombre out there in Ross Stripling. Braves starting lineup presented by Toyota. Looks pretty much the same as we have seen, with Kurt Suzuki back in harness behind the plate and batting 5th. Joe Ross Stripling, quite a story, quite a find for this suddenly bountiful Dodgers starting rotation.
He's been really good, Chip. 28 years old, 6'3", 220, out of Blue Bell, Pennsylvania, right outside Philadelphia. His first 7 starts, a microscopic ERA. It's been bumped up a little bit in his last 8, and a few more homers. But one thing about this guy, he doesn't walk anybody. 100 innings, he's walked 14 batters and struck out 114 batters. 92 to 94 fastball, slider, curve, change.
And pitched great against the Braves in LA in June. 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings. No walks, as you said. And he struck out 6. So Ronald Acuna leads off. Acuna 1 for 11 in the series. That one hit, a 2-run homer. And he jumps all over the first one here and drives it to left. But that's playable for Matt Kemp. And 1 out. Wind has been blowing, well, rather swirlingly here at the ballpark. Right now the flags are limp up above the right center field grandstands. We felt a breeze blowing in tonight or today and toward the Dodger dugout. Don't know if the wind knocked that ball down. It sounded pretty good off the bat.
Yeah, I thought that might carry to the wall at least.
So here's Ozzie. He's 2 for 9 in the series. Albies came on in the 7th inning and picked up a hit. And hits were hard to come by for the Braves last night. They had a total of 3 of them against Alex Wood, Chargois, Ferguson, and Goodell. Ball exploded down and away for a swing and a miss. 0-2.
Good off speed. He's 4-2 on the road. 2.55 ERA. Pretty consistent.
And that's into the seats out of play. Left side 0-2 the count. Well, truly an embarrassment of riches for the Dodgers in their rotation with Rich Hill, Clayton Kershaw, Alex Wood, Ross Stripling, Walker Buehler. They've got Kenta Maeda. And that's going to be a real nice problem for Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt to sort out over the final 2 months. Who are the best 5 the rest of the way for LA? Hard to argue that Stripling wouldn't be in that conversation with 8 wins and 10 decisions. Out away. Ozzie putting up a fight here. A ball and 2 strikes.
The Dodgers won Stripling's last start, but he was not able to go 1 more out to get the decision. He went 4 2/3, gave up 7 hits and 5 runs, but again did not walk a batter.
Pitch number 6 for Ozzie in this sequence in the opening inning. And no swing. That ball in the dirt. 2-2.
One of the things you notice as a hitter when you're going over scouting report looking at numbers for the opposing pitcher that day, when he's only walked 14, you know he's going to be around the plate. It's a matter of being selective, trying not to get yourself in a hole chasing bad pitches, but he's going to be somewhere around the plate every at bat.
Shift on for Ozzie as Stripling readies with the pitch. And again fouled away. Even though the Braves are in a bit of a dry spell, 9-15 in their last 24 games, that's certainly not good news. But best of all, they're only 2.5 games off the pace in the division. And as Brian Snitker has said, hey, if this team can get on a little roll, they could zoom right back to the top of the East. Perhaps that'll start today. 1-2.
You know, the same could be said when the Braves were in first place, Chip, that they had a chance a couple of times. They had a 2 or 3 game lead and weren't able to put some teams away or extend the lead. And that's why the Phillies and the Nationals are still in the hunt. And likewise right now, the Phillies have hit a speed bump in Cincinnati and haven't been able to extend their lead, and that's a break.
And Washington stumbled last night in extra innings. Marlins beat them. So the Nationals floundering around 500 still. So it's there for the taking. And a swing and a miss takes care of Albies. Extended at bat. First strikeout for Stripling. 2 up, 2 down. It was a 9-pitch at bat for the Braves second baseman. And here's Freddie. Freeman 2 for 13 in the series. Was 0 for 4 last night. He had his 9-game hitting streak snapped here on Friday. Right there, a strike. Lefty after lefty after lefty. The first 3 games of the series. Now the Braves get a righty in rotation for LA.
Let's hope that's the trick.
Another shift on for Freeman. And that one smoked toward right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. So Freddie with a 2-out knock brings up Nick Markakis.
Good swing. That makes him 3 for 7 with a homer off Stripling. Short, quick first move. Got the foot down. I was looking at Logan Forsythe. Boy, was he deep out in right field.
He could shake hands with Puig. So a 2-out chance for Markakis. The Braves have been very good with 2 outs this year. Let's see if that continues with the Atlanta right fielder. Nick's reached in 15 straight games. That streak continued with a walk last night. One ball, one strike. Great year working for Nick Markakis. 40 multi-hit games for him. 125 hits this year. Over 60 RBIs, just 4 behind Freddie Freeman on the club. Already in double digits in homers. I mean, you talk about a big year when the Braves needed it from Markakis. Boy, he provided it.
And he will be a free agent. Unless the Braves re-sign him, of course.
The 1-1. Stripling got the call on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shane Livensparger has the plate today. Marvin Hudson, the umpire, at first. Quinn Walcott at second. Jeff Kellogg is the man at third base.
Have we seen Livensparger behind the plate?
Somewhere, yes, but I can't remember where.
I mean, you remember his name, certainly. It's different.
That was close.
That was a good try by Grandal to steal that.
See Grandal with his cheat sheet on his left forearm. Let's see what they come up with for Markakis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And out of play. Trying to jam him. And Nick fought it off. All the new information and the statistics available. Outfielders have cards in their back pockets that help them position themselves in the outfield. Infielders too. Catchers certainly with their color-coded pitch preferences on their arms. Fouled away. It's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler Flowers has worn 1, although Tyler's, I think, has a flap on the top.
Yeah, it looks like
there you go.
Does too. Need to go to page 2 apparently.
Right.
Get Nick out here.
All those cards are prepared on a daily basis by the Braves information department and then shredded after the game. The 2 ball, 2 strike count for Markakis, and the pitch is line to left. That's going to get down and maybe roll to the wall. Kemp is on the track, slides, can't knock it down. Here comes Freddie around third. He's going to score standing up. All reliable comes through, and the Braves do cash in a 2-out run, this time in the first inning. It's 1-0.
Wow. Braves needed that. A good start. Get on the board early. Pitch that was up and away, and I'm not sure that Matt Kemp saw this right away. You know, out of the shirt sleeves right behind home plate. Did his best to cut it off, but couldn't come up with it cleanly.
Albies with a 9-pitch at bat. Markakis with a double on a 7-pitch sequence. He drives in his 63rd run. The Braves have scored first, and now Kurt Suzuki's coming up. 1 is nice, 2 would be better. 3 would be even better than that if Kurt could hit a long home run. Two out runs have been such a big part of this Braves attack in 2018. Line drive again to left. Kemp's not going to get that. Markakis can stroll home. Suzuki has a double. Back-to-back 2-base hits. It is 2-0.
Surprisingly, even though the Braves have had trouble scoring runs in recent days, they're still among the league leaders, if not leading the league, hitting with runners in scoring position. And that was a big high hook. Kurt waited on it, put a good swing on it, and he's got his 33rd RBI.
So Johan Camargo, the Braves' RBI leader since the 1st of June, stands in. Johan's 10 for his last 30, and this one's bounced to the right side. And Muncy will shovel to the pitcher, and that is the inning. Freeman with a single. Markakis and Suzuki with doubles. Braves plate 2 in the opening inning. Called, and earlier today Chipper Jones answered. The Braves legend will be inducted into baseball history, but we still have a lot more coverage for you tomorrow on Fox Sports Southeast during our Braves Marlins telecast. Cooperstown coverage is presented by Mizuno. Great work by Paul Bird and Ashley Shahamati on our at Fox Sports Braves Twitter account for all of their vignettes they've been posting and sharing with us, not just on social media but here on our broadcasts. And Gretchen Caney, our terrific producer, anchoring their hard efforts up in upstate New York.
Great work. Just great work. Great interviews. Loving every minute of it.
Kike Hernandez leads off. He's cleaning up today and playing center field for Los Angeles. Sean Newcomb's got a 2-0 lead after 1 inning. And that's out of play to the right side. Read something about John Schuerholz, who was greeted, I think, by Wade Boggs when John was making his way into the Hall of Fame and Museum during the festivities this weekend. And Wade Boggs said to John, hey, sooner or later we're going to have an Atlanta Braves wing with so many guys going in these last few years. And of course, John said, well, that would be just fine with me. But what a wonderful day. Beautiful weather up in Cooperstown. All the All-Stars who are able to attend are being introduced to the dais in Cooperstown, and the speeches are coming up. Hernandez batting .220 on the year, has a couple of hits in the series. And this one's lifted into shallow center. Out goes Dansby. In comes Ender, and it is Dansby with a gorgeous catch over his shoulder.
That was a great play. And I think perhaps another instance where the outfielder didn't pick it up right away with the bright shirt sleeves right behind home plate. You see Ender was actually turning to go back because he wasn't sure. And nice play by Dansby for the out. Great play.
4 up, 4 down for Newcomb. Here's Max Muncy. Muncy hits lefties better than Bellinger does. That's why he's got the start at first base today. And knock on wood, Muncy's had a rather quiet series. He's 0 for 9 here in Atlanta. But 24 homers. And lifted that one foul. Ball 1, strike 1 from Newcomb. Three of Muncy's homers have come against the Braves. They were in Los Angeles. Has a good fastball, had him late. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got good bat speed, really strong. He's kind of the 180-degree different Cody Bellinger too. We talked last night about Bellinger being very upright, straight-legged, very little knee bend. Well, you can see there's a difference here for Muncy. A lot of strength in his lower half.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Late on that. 5 up, 5 down for Sean, who struck out 2 Dodgers. And Yasmani Grandal is coming up. It all starts with that fastball, doesn't it?
It does, and he's got a good one today. It's got a little hop on it. Threw one by Machado for a strikeout that looked good. But it usually does start with the fastball. You got to establish that, and he has.
Grandal 3 for 9 in the series with a homer, 17 of those on the year, 53 runs batted in. Reds lead the Phillies 1-0. Miami leads Washington 1-0. Those games are both in the 3rd inning. Miami is in town tomorrow night. Braves are hoping they come to town hot, winning 2 in a row, as they would split their series with Washington with a win today. Jeremy Hellickson against Urania. Hasn't won a game at home this year, if memory serves, for Miami.
He's due.
Yes, he's overdue. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sean's feeling really good. You can tell by the way the ball's coming out of his hand. He's missing high a little bit. You know, it's jumping.
And a roller left side that will bounce off the Dodger dugout. We'll do it again. Full count.
One of his first change-ups, and that was a good one. You know, when you start talking about catchers in the National League, and always Buster Posey's name comes to the forefront. Now JT Realmuto, you hardly hear people include this guy, and yet his numbers bear that recognition. He's really having a solid year, and he's a good player.
Switch hitter too. Boy, that's a
Yeah.
Valuable weapon for a club to have. Switch hitting catcher. He's had 16 homer season, 27 homer season, 22 homer season with the Dodgers. We got him from San Diego. And now he's making Newcomb work overtime. Next pitch will be number 10 for Mr. Grandal. Yasmani was born in Cuba, moved to the United States when he was 10. Was the 12th pick by the Reds in 2010. And he's going to ground out to Johan Camargo, and Newcomb has another perfect inning, this time the second. He shuts him down, leads 2-0, and he's coming up third next.
Williams. Your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
2-0 Atlanta, home second coming up here at SunTrust Park. And on behalf of Major League Baseball, we salute all of Cooperstown, New York on its Hall of Fame weekend and offer congratulations to this year's award winners and to the 2018 National Baseball Fame Hall of Fame inductees and their families. And just for the record, the waterworks have already started. Jim Thome was crying during the national anthem. And there will be oceans of tears.
You know it.
In Cooperstown today.
I heard Nick Green say on Braves Live, I think it was yesterday, that he had played against or with 4 of the inductees going in today. And I know it was Hoffman, Chipper, Vladimir, and Thome. Well, I'll speak to the other 2, Trammell and Jack Morris, who I saw a lot of when they were in Detroit. Both very deserving. A lot of Gold Gloves, a lot of Silver Slugger awards for Trammell. 1984 World Series MVP. He had a great career with Detroit. Really solid player, very underrated defensively at shortstop too.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Ender leading off the home second. Well, those guys played before interleague play and before so much of baseball was televised nationally or even regionally for that matter. For younger fans who didn't see the American League play, give us a touchstone as to who Alan Trammell and Jack Morris were comparable to in today's game, if you could.
I'll have to give that some thought. I'll have to maybe look at the standings and see if somebody from that particular team jumps out at me. But I can tell you, and Braves fans remember Jack Morris
from the World Series,
from the World Series in '91, and what a tough competitor he was. And he was always that way. He gave no quarter. Very tough.
2-2 pitch, just missed.
And he was in a real nice rotation with the Tigers, who won a world championship in '84 and had one of the Best sliders and best split finger pitches ever. It was mighty tough. Learned all that from Roger Craig.
Who hitters are cursing to this day for that. The pitch is ripped foul past first. Well, Jack Morris had a saying that I've used a couple of times, and I always credit him with it. It's really true. He used to come into the clubhouse at the dugout and say, "Boys, I've never lost with 10. So
yeah, go get him.
go get him, and I'll take care of it the rest of the way." But as tough a player as he was, well, you talk about a very nice man, loves the game. This one slapped toward the left side and out of play, foul. He's done some TV work, I think, with the Twins. Seen him
That's correct.
From time to time in the playoffs, and always a great interview, always insightful, and now a Hall of Famer. Foul away.
You know, Trammell wasn't flashy. He didn't have Ozzie Smith's flair, or some of the modern day players that that come to mind. But he was built a little bit like Addison Russell of Chicago.
Okay.
You know, kind of smooth and kind of glides to the ball like Russell does. Better all-around player, better hitter, but
smoked into right field. What an at bat by Ender. The Braves are having some extended appearances against Stripling, who, as you said, doesn't want to walk people. He didn't. Ender smoked that one for the 4th Atlanta hit.
And did he ever? He threw some top hand on that pitch that looked like it was up in the zone a little bit. Yeah, about belt high. Foot down. Head really still on that. That was pretty.
So let's see if he tries for stolen base number 24 on the year. He's aboard in front of Dansby, who's batting .249 for the year. Swing and a miss. He's going to throw strikes. He's thrown strike one to all 8 Atlanta batters so far today, but he trails 2-0. Back-to-back 2-out doubles in the first. Starling Marte, the Red Hot Pirates, the stolen base leader in the National League. Taylor and Turner are both one ahead of Ender. And that's out of play, foul. Reds now lead 3-0 over the Phillies. Scooter Gennett has hit a home run at the Great American Ballpark. And Zach Eflin and Luis Castillo today in Cincinnati. Phillies were beaten 6-2 last night. Like the Braves, they had trouble getting hits. They had just 4 of them against Matt Harvey and the rest of the Cincinnati bullpen. So the 0-2 pitch. And Dansby didn't offer.
I mentioned that Stripling was born in Blue Bell, Pennsylvania, but he didn't really grow up there. He finished high school in Southlake, Texas, and played all sports. Went to Texas A&M, was a 5th-round pick by the Dodgers in 2012.
Well, they have bluebells in Texas too, don't they? So
you know they do.
It's
blue bonnets too.
That's it, blue bonnets. That's right. Not such a stretch for Mr. Stripling. One-two pitch. And Dansby didn't get it. He swung late, and Stripling has his second strikeout. And that'll bring up Sean Newcomb.
That was a really good slider. you're behind in the count, this is not the one you want to see that starts in the middle of the plate and goes to the outside corner. That was a nice one.
Sean's 2 for 30 at the plate with 6 sacrifices. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Popped up, but foul. Nobody could get to it. I don't think Grandal saw it. And Newcomb's going to be called out here. Did he interfere with the catcher?
Well, I thought at first Grandal didn't see where the ball went, but Shane Livensparger is saying he was obstructed. Get a good look at it here. He's in the batter's box, and there is a collision.
Yeah, he's still in the box.
Yeah. I don't think that's a good call if he's still standing in the box. Huh.
Well, last night in Miami, there was an obstruction play called that benefited Miami. And the home plate umpire said, look, the ball was bunted in play. The defender has to give the batter runner an opportunity to get out of the box. The exact opposite call was just made here. Newcomb was standing stock still in the batter's box. The catcher ran into him, and Grandal got the out.
Yeah, if he had been outside the box, if he already moved out there or had backed out of the box into his path, that would have been one thing. But Sean was still in the batter's box, and that was not a good call.
So Shane Livensparger with a controversial call against Newcomb. That put out goes to the catcher, even though the ball landed harmlessly in foul ground. So that's the second out of the inning with Acuna up there, and Ender still at first base. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stripling is throwing a lot of strikes, as you'd expect. 40 pitches, only 9 balls so far. But he's had some deep counts. Braves have long at bats by Markakis, Albies, and Inciarte already today. Now Acuna putting up a fight, fouled that one back. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I said that you're probably going to get a good pitch to hit every at bat. That doesn't mean they're going to be easy, and it also means you better put that one in play, that you find each at bat. You're not going to get a lot of them.
Two and two.
Isn't it interesting, though, how some guys just have a real knack for throwing strikes with all their pitches?
Now the 2-2 is high, full count, and now Ender will be able to take off with the pitch. And Acuna will more than likely see a strike here. Stripling's walked only 14 men in over 101 innings of work. Outfield very deep, especially Hernandez in center. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss, and that retires the side. A controversial pop-up play is ruled interference by Newcomb, and we head to the third.
inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame. What a day for Chipper Jones as we welcome back in to SunTrust Park. The Braves are up 2-0 over the Dodgers. And, you know, guys like Dansby Swanson, Charlie Culberson, well, they grew up here, and they grew up watching Chipper Jones and watching those Atlanta Braves. And when I spoke to Dansby Swanson about it, he said, you know, growing up watching that team made me into the competitor that I am, because I kept seeing them win, and I now always want to win because that's what I'm used to growing up to. Now for Charlie Culberson, he said, looking back, you have no idea what you're watching. And he could see now how much he took watching Chipper Jones, watching him, took that for granted, guys.
Yeah, Kelsey, it's amazing how the baton and the torch has been passed from one generation of Braves players to the next here in Atlanta. Back in the 1980s, it was Dale Murphy who carried that torch as one of the iconic faces of the Braves franchise. Back-to-back MVP awards. And a man I think should be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't get a vote. The torch from Dale Murphy was then passed to the big three, and then eventually Chipper Jones, who's passed it now on to, I guess you could say, Freddie Freeman here in Atlanta.
I remember Chipper saying once, I think it was right on the same day that David Justice was traded, or near then, he said, this is your team now. You know, because David had really been one of the leaders on the ball club in between Dale Murphy and Chipper, among position players.
Boy, Newcomb's got excellent stuff today. That's 7 up, 7 down as he takes care of Yasiel Puig.
But that's what baseball's all about too. It's the hand-me-down, not just of players, but of parents to son, you know, or daughter, whoever the big fans are in the family.
So Logan Forsythe, the batter, the 8th place hitter for the Dodgers, batting .211. Of course, we'll have excerpts from Chipper's speech later on today. He's first up in Cooperstown this afternoon, and that was all pre-planned.
Yes, good idea, wasn't it?
Yep. Chipper's lovely wife Taylor is due any second, and so they said, if you haven't had the baby, we're going to let you go first. And hopefully, soon to be arriving Cooper will cooperate. Forsythe playing second base. Hit one of the Dodger homers against Sean Newcomb out west. He's 2 for 6 against him in his career. And this one's hit to third. Off Camargo's glove, but it bounces right by his foot, and he recovers in time. 2 out. Nice play on a hard hit ball.
You have his arm, you always have the ability to recover. Even if one gets away from you a little bit, you can make up for it. That was a hot smash. With those BBs he can throw across the diamond.
So here's Stripling, batting .077. Newcomb's been throwing strikes. He's had some deep counts, but no base runners yet. 3 strikeouts for him. 3 groundouts, all to third base. What do we got working down there? Swing and a miss. Stripling's retired. That's 4 for Newcomb. We'll have Kelsey investigate what Tyler Flowers is up to downstairs as Atlanta leads 2-0. August is Chipper month. Join us Friday, August 10th. The first 20,000 fans get a Chipper Jones Hall of Fame replica plaque presented by SunTrust. And if you're one of the first 20,000 through the gates on Saturday, August 18th, you'll get a Chipper Crazy Train bobblehead brought to you by Napa. Get all the Chipper details at Braves.com.
One of the best things on the concession menu right there are those tacos. Chicken or beef, outstanding. And a lot of Jones jerseys in the ballpark today, and rightfully so.
And on Chipper Day, maybe we can get the guys at Delaware North to send us 10 of them.
Oh.
Just what we need.
Yeah.
Good start for the Braves. 2 first-inning runs. Newcomb perfect through 3 innings with 4 strikeouts. And the Atlanta offense will go to work again with Albies, Freeman, and Markakis coming up. Ozzie struck out after a 9-pitch at bat in the first inning. Stripling with that modified windup goes to work and gets a swing and a foul ball straight back. It's 0-1 for Ozzie Albies. Let's see, who do the Braves have left here at home against the West? Colorado is the only Western team yet to appear at SunTrust Park this season. And it's amazing. The Braves have struggled against the West. They're 8-14 and 4-9 here at home against the Giants, Padres, Dodgers, and Diamondbacks so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and the Rockies are hanging in there. They keep kind of trading places with Arizona, 2nd and 3rd. One's 1.5 behind LA. One's 2 back. Giants still hanging around, but they've lost 8 out of 10 and 4 in a row. They've fallen 7.5 back.
Yeah, the Rockies hot. They've won 10 out of 12 games. Dangerous club, and they made some interesting news yesterday. They brought back an old friend.
Yeah.
Matt Holliday, who's been out of baseball for a while, was signed to a minor league contract by the Rockies. He'll try to play himself back into shape and perhaps get back on a big league roster with them. The 1-2 is rolled over, foul at first, and Ozzie still alive. A ball and 2 strikes.
It's an interesting thought. You know, he's been doing radio work and I guess has been hitting or working out, maybe feeling a little better than he did the last couple of years physically. So why not give him a chance to get in shape, see if he could help you down the stretch.
Just what the Rockies need, more offense. But Matt, a class act. Wish him well in his comeback attempt with the Rockies, who won 4-1 yesterday and beat the Oakland A's. German Marquez has the ball for them today. The Rockies will be big Braves fans, hoping Atlanta can knock off LA in Game 4 today. That's lined into right field between the shifted infield defenders. That had a ringing sound to it, and Albies coming back to life. He's got a leadoff single.
Yeah, just like Ender last inning when he raked one that was up in the zone. That looked like a changeup. He got fooled a little bit. Top hand came off the bat, but he still barreled it up. Ozzie's so strong, he can do that.
So that brings up Freddie Freeman. Freeman got the first inning rally started with a 2-out single. He scored on a Markakis double, the first run of the day today. Freddie now with 124 hits. And he's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot feature.
Last 2 weeks, 362 average, a lot of extra base hits mixed in there, 9 RBIs, and already a base hit and a run scored today.
0-2.
They still have a shift on for him with 3 guys on the right side of the infield, but they're playing a little more conventionally so that they're in a position to turn a double play if there's a ground ball hit.
Freddie took a shot at left field on that 2-strike count. And that's lifted into the third deck off to the left. Still 0-2. Good stop by Grandal. That one well off the plate. 1-2 your count. That was tipped and caught. And Stripling with his 4th strikeout. He does not give in, does he? He just throws strike after strike. And as you said, Joe, all of his pitches are quality. This one just died at the back point of the plate.
Yeah, a change up, circle change. Moving a little bit away from Freddie. I thought when I saw Grandal move away, I thought, well, that'll play right into Freddie's hand. Teams' pitchers tend to do that when they get ahead of Freeman, is then go away. And if you've got that shift on, that's right in his wheelhouse, so to speak, to go the other way. But that was a perfect changeup.
.57 pitches for Stripling, who's not out of the 3rd inning yet. That's right there. 1 ball, 1 strike. All about number 1 picks and how important those are when you can get 5th round selections like Stripling to come through and be big parts of your rotation. Your team's going to have a very, very good chance to win. And because of all the injuries the Dodgers have suffered, with Hill going down and Kershaw going down and Ryu going down and Maeda spending time hurt, this guy's stepped in and done a heck of a job after pitching in 49 games in Dodger colors last year, 47 of them in relief.
So he's a guy who basically served an apprenticeship in the bullpen before getting a chance to be in the rotation this year. And boy, did he pay him back.
You bet. 8-2 with a 2.43 ERA. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He falls in that category of guys we talk about at times where when he misses, he's not missing by much.
Well, Stripling entered this season with 8 career wins. He has 8 wins this year. It's truly a breakout year for him. And the pitch is banged toward the Braves dugout and down the line, foul. It's our understanding that Tyler Flowers was doing a in-game interview with TBS, which also is carrying the game nationally today. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away. Boy, the Braves have done a real good job of extending counts.
Well, that's what they've done all year. You know, This stretch they've been in where they haven't scored a ton of runs, especially at home, has been so unusual because they are good at putting it in play. And while the strikeouts may have gone up a little bit, not that much.
Two balls, two strikes. Good take, full count. Kurt Suzuki's next. He's got an RBI double. We're in the third inning. Deliberate pace, but the Braves lead 2-0. Stripling ready for his 63rd pitch.
Threw 99 pitches in 4 2/3 in his last outing.
Runner goes. Pitch is caught on and drilled toward right field. Puig back. That ball is gone. A great at-bat is rewarded with a great trip around the bases.
A double and a homer in the first 3 innings of the ball game for Nick, and the Braves offense doing what has been missed lately, and that's getting on the board early. We showed you that graphic of Stripling's most recent starts, and he's given up 10 homers in his last 8 starts. Here's another one. Out in the chop house. 4-0.
First homer for Nick since July 3rd in New York against the Yankees and Adam Warren. So it's a 4-run lead for Newcomb. And Suzuki turns it loose and didn't get it. Strike one. Stripling's allowed 14 homers now. This one came with 1 out. Can a pitcher throw too many strikes?
I guess in some ways you can. You know, I've heard Glavine talk about good strikes. You know, make good pitches with good strikes and not down the middle strikes.
Well, Nick didn't miss that pitch. Launched it. And Suzuki tried to do the same thing. This one's popped up. Long run. And it's going to be Forsythe who makes the play. He was shifted over by the second base bag, and look at the ground he covered. As Puig couldn't get there in time. So Kurt pops out, 2 away. Here's Camargo. He rolled out to first with the pitcher covering. Johan's been a busy man at third base, already 3 assists. And that just missed. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. That slashed out of play. It's been a good last month or so for the Braves third baseman. We'll see that on our Synovus Greatness Made Here feature.
306 average, 19 RBIs. We've been telling you that he leads the team in RBIs since June 1st.
And a squibber toward Machado. Had it roll up his glove and still made the play. And that retires the side. Nick Markakis has hit his 11th home run, a 2-run shot. Atlanta leads 4-0. Sean Newcomb hasn't allowed a base runner yet. Alumni Weekends, August 10th, 11th, and 12th. Great lineup of events. Of course, focusing on the Hall of Fame induction of Chipper Jones, the always popular Alumni Softball Home Run Derby, and more. Get your tickets at braves.com/alumni and see the full schedule of events for one of the most popular weekends every year here with the Braves. Taylor leads off for the Dodgers. 9 up, 9 down for Sean Newcomb. And that splits the dish. It's an even count. Taylor popped out in foul ground to start the game for LA.
Saw some of the alumni here today for Alumni Sunday, signing autographs. Marcus Giles, Kevin Millwood. Brian Jordan was here with the tomahawk, like we showed you, getting the crowd going.
The 2-1 pitch. Miss low and away, ball 3. 31 strikes, 22 balls for Newcomb. Can't argue with the results. 4 strikeouts among the first 9 Dodger hitters. And this one's popped up. Ozzie drifts out. Markakis calls him off. Good communication, better result. 10 up, 10 down, 1 away. And here's Machado.
Sean has gone to a 2-ball count to all but 1 hitter, and that was the pitcher Stripling. But he is dealing, and I love that pitch right there. Just fastball. Here it is. Hit it.
With a 4-run lead, you can do that.
Yes, sir.
Braves had scored 10 runs in their previous 6 games in total here at SunTrust Park. They've got 4 in the first 3 innings today. And Manny Machado, the batter. What a big roar he's going to get when the Dodgers head back home to face Milwaukee. He hasn't played at Dodger Stadium as a Dodger yet. So they've got a long day ahead after this action. They head back to LA and play tomorrow night. That one is hit toward the Braves bullpen, but not deep enough. Ender right up against the gate makes the play. 2 outs.
Well, the Dodger fans are going to love him. Anytime you are able to acquire one of the best players, one of the best hitters in the game, what a boost for your fan base, what a boost for your team.
Wonder who had the Manny Wood sign. You know, did somebody put that in storage someplace just in case they got another player as popular as Manny Ramirez was when he came to LA a few years ago?
They could put another sign up right out there behind left field in the foothills.
Yeah, maybe they will. But it certainly made a very good Dodger ball club even more dangerous. And if they can get Justin Turner back, that's going to be a nice addition as well. This ball right at Ender in center. 12 up, 12 down for Newcomb on Hall of Fame day. He's pitching great. He's coming up third again with a 4-run lead. 84-degree summer afternoon. We will take a look at the pool and the park on our Xfinity cam here in Atlanta, where the Braves enjoy a 4-0 lead after 3.5 innings. Enders slashes one toward left. Long run, Kent not going to get there. That's going to bounce up against the wall. And Ender will reach second base. I think it might have hit the foul pole. And so that's a ground rule double officially for Inciarte, who's 2 for 2 in the game.
And hit that ball with authority the other way, right at the base of the fence. Smoked the ball to right his first time up. And hit it where it was pitched. Leadoff men aboard here the last couple of 3 innings. A good sign. But the turnover of the lineup, something we haven't seen lately.
This is how the Braves played in the early weeks and first month and a half of the season. Bottom fed the top. And that's something else Brian Snitker has talked about recently, as this one's hit toward third. Nice play, Machado, and from a knee, a perfect throw to retire Swanson.
How nice was that? A little in between hop too. Good hands.
He wants to play shortstop. I beg him to play third.
He even took a glance over at Ender before he spun around on that knee to throw to first. Well, Brian Snitker was talking about the offense last night in his post-game comments. He said we're just having a hard time stringing things together, you know, getting consecutive hits or piecing a couple of hits around a walk. And he said all we can do is keep grinding.
Yeah, the term he used, I think, was flow. The offense isn't flowing.
Right.
And I think that's a pretty accurate description of it. But so far, so good today. 4 runs on 7 hits against a 8-game winner, Ross Stripling. He throws another strike. Could be a very productive day if the Braves can finish this one off. Reds are beating Philly 3-0. Miami's beating Washington 2-0. Braves are 2.5 behind the Phillies. That one got away from Grandal. And a big turnaround third for Ender, and he'll stop there. That was interesting. We saw Ender's big lead at second. He started to break off, and Stripling never stepped off. And then Grandal got handcuffed.
Yeah, I wonder if Grandal was kind of watching Ender as the pitch was in flight, wondering if he was going to steal. That helps.
And the infield comes in for Sean, who's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count. So on the pass ball, Ender's 90 feet away, and Newcomb shoots one toward the Dodger dugout. And the count to him 1-2. Sean's hanging tough, a ball and 2 strikes. In LA, finishing up a very long, tough road trip. They are thinking, I'm sure, about getting home for the first time in a week and a half. After visiting Milwaukee, Philly, and now Atlanta. Quick turnaround for them. Braves have jumped on Stripling early, and Newcomb has been brilliant on the mound. He's down on strikes as Atlanta continues here in the 4th.
Visit Synovus for your banking, lending, and investing needs. Synovus, the bank of here.
So Ender at third base with 2 outs. Top of the order. Here's Acuna. Ronald's 0 for 2. Good hook, and called a strike. Trading deadline is July 31st. We are about 48 hours away from the non-waiver trading period. Could still make deals in August and September for that matter. But there are many more restrictions in order to accomplish that.
And teams can block a player going somewhere if they think it's going to assist an opponent in their division too much. In other words, they can claim him off waivers.
1 ball, 1 strike. Acuna took that high. It's ball 2. It's a minor trade made last night. Cardinals got Chasen Shreve and Giovanni Gallegos from the Yankees for Luke Voigt. Cardinals are redoing their bullpen on the fly. As this one's hit down the right field line, that's going to roll foul. Acuna sliced it too hard and heads back to the dish, 2-2. Keep an eye on the Cardinals. They've won their last 2 games. They're 2 games over 500, 7 games back though in the Central. They're trying to pass now Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and the Cubs. Wow. Mention the Pirates, how good they are and how good they've been playing. Pittsburgh beat DeGrom last night.
They've had a very good month.
The 2-2 pitch. And I say that because Pirates, another team the Braves haven't seen yet.
Got at least 6 games left with them.
So a full count. And out of play.
Here's something for you on the Pirates. The Pirates in their own division are 10 games over 500. They're 26-16. But against the East, they're 9-14. And against the West, they're 8-18.
Ooh.
Yeah. 12-3 in interleague play.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier this year. As Acuna takes ball 4. That is a rare walk, only the 15th allowed by Stripling this year. And the inning continues with Albies coming up. He singled and scored. Braves have done an excellent job of driving up the pitch count of Ross Stripling in this game. Did a pretty good job of it the other night too against Alex Wood. So yeah, Atlanta will face Pittsburgh on August 20th, 21st, and 22nd at PNC Park. Then the Pirates are here at the end of August, September 1st and 2nd. Acuna's running. And no throw to second. He'll steal second standing up. Nobody bothered to cover the bag. So the 5th steal for Ronald. Now a hit means 2 runs.
Pretty good pump fake by Grandal, though it looked like Ender had thoughts of maybe trying to pull a double steal. He had to hustle back.
That's fouled into the second deck off to our left. It's an even count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ozzie second in the National League with 75 runs, tied for second in total bases and extra base hits, 30 doubles, 35 multi-hit games, and 117 hits. Truly an all-star year for the Braves second baseman. Fans rooting him on. The pitch. Got on and missed. It's a ball and 2 strikes. That's hit toward Muncy at first. He'll race to the bag in time, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, 2 left. 4-0 Atlanta through 4. Everything going Atlanta's way so far through 4 innings. Let's check it out on today's SunTrust Confidence Play.
And it's a good sign with Nick Markakis having already gone deep today. 45 and 21 when they hit at least 1 home run. And 48 and 14 with 4 or more. That's a great number.
And speaking of great numbers, the number for Sean Newcomb is 0 so far in this game. No hits, no walks, no base runners. No runs allowed. He's set down the first 12 Dodgers in a row here in Game 4 of the series. Trying to be the Braves stopper, one of Joe's 4 keys to success today. Sean is 7-1 following a Braves loss. He's 9-5 overall this season. In the air to center, Ender is there and puts it away. 13 up, 13 down, 1 away.
It's 4 straight fly ball outs too. 3 of them to Ender. They've made some good contact. You know, Machado and Kemp last inning both hit the ball hard. Nothing to show for it.
Here's Muncy. He's struck out back in the 2nd inning, so he's 0 for 1 and 0 for 10 in the series.
5 strikeouts.
I'll paraphrase what I said a moment ago about Ross Stripling and apply it to Max Muncy. When non-roster players make your team and hit 24 home runs, you have a chance to have a spectacular year, and that's exactly what Muncy has provided.
You always pull for those guys, making the most of an opportunity.
You bet. After 2 brief stints with the Oakland A's where he didn't hit for a high average, Dodgers gave him a chance. And again, with all the injuries they've had, he stepped in and took advantage of it. Muncy had 5 career homers entering this season. He's hit 24 in a Dodger uniform. Out of Keller High School in Texas and Baylor University. The 1-2 pitch. Good try inside. It just missed. And just missed Muncy's elbow. 2-2.
Again, not messing around. 96 fastball. He's throwing it without max effort today. You know, there's just a nice smooth delivery on Sean's part.
That just missed. Muncy's headed to first base, but Max, in this league, you need 4 off the plate to earn a base on balls.
Even Sean Newcomb was holding up 3 fingers as he was trotting down the line like, hang on.
So a full count with 1 out. And he'll head to the left instead of first base. Newcomb strikes him out. That's 5 in the game. 14 retired in a row to start.
That had a little running action, maybe a little cutter type fastball, the way that was moving away from him.
You saw it immediately the first couple of pitches to Taylor in the game, how the ball was coming out so nicely.
Yeah, he's in definitely in a groove. That goes without saying, but a lot of confidence.
And Grandal stands in with 2 outs. He bounced out to third in the 2nd inning. That just missed, ball 2. Miami's all over Washington, 5-0. Reds the same over the Phillies, 4-zip in the 7th. 4-0 Atlanta here. The pitch. Right there, a strike. So here comes the 2-2 pitch.
Didn't get a swing and a miss there, and tried to go up in the zone. Still has good life on his fastball though. That last one, 94.
He just broke Grandal's bat, and it's a pop up to short. 5 perfect innings for Sean Newcomb.
Life's lows. I will never forget that. You're the reason I never wanted to play anywhere else. I couldn't be prouder to go into the Hall of Fame today with an Atlanta A on my cap. I love you guys. Thank you.
National Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies airing live on MLB Network and MLB.com. We'll have more snippets of Chipper's terrific speech as our afternoon continues. Joe, when I talked to Chipper about the upcoming induction, that was the topic that I think generated the most emotion from him, and you heard it in his comments a moment ago. He's experienced the highest of highs on the field, the lowest of lows off the field, and through it all, he and Braves country shared a very special bond that very few players, not just in Atlanta, but throughout our grand sport, have ever experienced.
I go back to what I said earlier this season, where Chipper belonged to the fans. You know, he was a #1 pick. He was the guy that everybody had their eye on before the draft that year. And I think his name had something to do with it. It was such a cool name.
Thank you. right. Yeah, there you go.
But I think all the fans just took him as theirs, and even despite some rough times, they forgave him and stuck by him. And he certainly didn't disappoint anybody with the way he played.
This is Daniel Hudson on the mound for LA. He replaces Stripling, who gave up 4 runs, 7 hits in his 4 innings today. And Chipper didn't disappoint. Speech looked terrific. He looked poised. He looked confident. Most importantly, Joe, he wore a beautiful, crisp navy blue suit. Not some of the, shall we say, patterned stuff we've seen from Chipper from time to time. Swing and a miss. Freeman's down swinging, 1 out.
Yeah, looked very handsome.
So Chipper, we hope, will be joining us here at SunTrust Park in the next couple of days ahead. What a wonderful, wonderful weekend in New York. Here's Markakis, a double, a homer, 2 runs, 3 RBIs. So Nick's been on base 16 straight games, 65 runs batted in. All the accolades going to the players, and deservedly so, on Hall of Fame weekend. Let's not forget the 2 members of the media who are going in. Sheldon Ocker is going in for the baseball writer side, and Bob Costas was inducted today in the broadcaster's wing with the Ford Frick Award. 1 ball, no strikes. And right there at even count.
Yeah, I was listening to some of Mr. Ocker's speech. It was very touching.
As was Bob, so eloquent as always, until he got to mentioning his partners when he told a great story about Bob Uecker, who was one of his broadcast partners on NBC. Fly ball hit toward left, and Kemp toward the line is there and has it 2 outs. Bob innocently asked, half in jest, or really probably all in jest, of Bob Uecker, did you ever play in the World Series? And Uecker said, well, I was on the 1964 Cardinals team that went to the World Series and won, but I didn't play. And Bob said, of course, well, why not? And Bob said, well, I had hepatitis. And Bob said, really? You had hepatitis? And Uecker said, yeah, the trainer injected me with it so we could win. Which is so classic Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
But perhaps his most gracious comments were, speaking of Bob Costas, save for the great Tony Kubek, who was bumped from the #1 broadcast team by NBC when they had Vin Scully and Joe Garagiola. And Tony Kubek went to the booth with young green Bob Costas, showed him the ropes, and helped him along in the early days of his journey. And Bob Costas never forgot that and remembered Tony Kubek today.
That's a good story. There's always people that help you get there.
That's it. Stand on the shoulders of giants. As Kurt Suzuki digs in, 2 outs, 5th inning. Braves in command of this game, leading 4-0. And the 1-1 pitch is fouled away. Jaime Jarrín is not here with the Dodgers, the legendary voice on the Spanish side of things. Jaime Jarrín is also in Cooperstown today. This is the 20th anniversary of his inclusion and induction as a Hall of Fame broadcast voice for the Dodgers. His son Jorge behind the mic tonight.
As it should be. One of the classic gentlemen in the game.
The 1-2 pitch. He is rolled to the left side. Machado vacuums, patty cakes, and fires. And that retires the side. Off we go to the 6th. Sean Newcomb, the stage is yours. Stick around for the middle of the 7th inning. Coming up, it's the stretch. It's presented by Advance Auto Parts. Ways to go before we get to the 7th inning. First 5, though, for Sean Newcomb. Been awesome, as you'll see on our Sherwin-Williams painting the corners.
What a line. You'd take that line every day you go out there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
5 innings, perfect baseball, and really has had a good fastball.
And he's got the bottom part of the order coming up. Puig, Forsythe, and Bellinger for Los Angeles. 4-7-0 for the Braves. Zeros across for the Dodgers. Yasiel Puig struck out his first and only time up. He just came off the disabled list yesterday and had a big night. And takes one outside, ball 1. Good cut, fouled straight back. It's even for Puig. Puig burst onto the scene in 2013 for the Dodgers, hit 19 homers. Last year, 28 home runs in 152 games. Far and away his best season as a Dodger.
There are a lot of strong players in baseball. He's one of them. One of the strongest. He may not have the height of an Aaron Judge or a Mike Stanton.
And he has just become the first base runner in the ball game. And now we'll see how Sean fares going to the stretch for the first time in the game as he works into the 6th inning. So there's the perfecto gone. Puig aboard with nobody out. Remember, it's Forsythe, the 8th place hitter, then Bellinger, not the pitcher's spot. Forsythe bounced out to 3rd his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And Sean misses up and away again. 1 ball, no strikes. Forsythe from Braves country. He's from Tennessee. Lives in Franklin, Tennessee. In the offseason, this one shot right toward Nick Markakis. Barely had to move. And there's the first out. Puig back to first for Cody Bellinger. Bellinger, a .221 hitter against lefties. 122 at bats, 41 strikeouts. He comes from a baseball family. His dad was, or is, Clay Bellinger, 2-time world champion with the Yankees in 1999 and 2000. And fouled straight back, strike 1.
2 for 11 in the series. Scored 3 runs. Got hit by a pitch. Was that last night? Looks like he's obviously okay.
Yep, in the 2nd inning. Another Dodger Rookie of the Year, the 18th one of those. And well deserved after a massive season last year. 39 home runs.
Seemed like he was hitting one every day.
Just about.
For a while. About this time last year.
12 of those 39 homers came against lefties last year. The most by a Dodger left-handed hitter since 1974. He was an all-star to boot. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3, absolutely froze him, and he knew it. 6 strikeouts for Newcomb. Puig at first, 2 outs.
Chance to break out his breaking ball. Got him to lean back. Nice job by Kurt to frame it.
Yeah, he hasn't been very curveball happy today, has he?
Hasn't had to be.
So that came out in a perfect spot. And Taylor, the batter, he's 0 for 2. And he's behind because Newcomb's fastball has been excellent, sharp, crisp, and on target. One ball, one strike. And now Sean way ahead of Chris Taylor, the shortstop. And he'll turn things over to the Atlanta offense, which leads 4-0 in the 6th. Swing and a miss.
Wow, there's a good hook.
The perfect game bid is by the boards, but folks, call your friends. Newcomb has a special game brewing through 5.5. Home 6th coming up. It's 4-0 Atlanta. Stick around for the middle of the 7th inning. It's the stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. It's not a stretch to say Sean Newcomb's having a spectacular day for the Braves. 6 scoreless innings. He's been given 4 runs to play with, 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd. And now Johan Camargo will lead off, trying to add to a 4-0 Atlanta advantage. Ground out to first, ground out to third. The line for the Braves' 3rd sacker today. Again, the Dodgers shift for him. And up and away, ball 2.
Hudson worked here Thursday night, an inning. Gave up 3 hits and 2 runs on the home run by Ronald Acuna. They accounted for the Braves' only 2 runs of the night.
Popped foul, out of play, 2-1. course, it's Hall of Fame weekend, and there's so much history on the stage in Cooperstown, so many great stories being told, so many records and career numbers being discussed. Jason Stark, one of the great baseball writers in our generation, I think, had an amazing story about what the Atlanta Braves accomplished with the induction of Chipper Jones today. As this one's lifted foul and out of play. The Braves have put 4 Hall of Fame players, a manager, and a general manager in the Hall of Fame, all of whom spent 10 years together. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In the history of baseball, that has happened just 2 other times. And I'll tell you who those teams were after this 2-2 pitch, which is cut on and missed. Hudson has his second strikeout. You know all about the 27 Yankees and the great players they had, as everyone needs a little tenderness. In 1921 through 1946, Miller Huggins and Joe McCarthy led the Yankees, and all their great players ended up going in the Hall of Fame. That's one of the teams that Jason Stark mentioned, and the research of this was thanks to the Elias Sports Bureau. The other was the 49 through 60 Yankees, George Weiss and Casey Stengel, with Mantle, Berra, Ford, and Phil Rizzuto. The Braves from 91 to 2005 had their big 3, Chipper Jones, Bobby Cox, and John Schuerholz. When you think of the number of great franchises, great teams, great players, that has only happened 3 times is rather remarkable.
Yeah, not surprising that 2 of the 3 are the Yankees.
Right. And the reason Stark brought this up, and he quoted John Schuerholz extensively in the article, when you talk about the Braves, there's always, well, they had such great teams, great player, great manager, but.
Mm-hmm.
And the but is only, and I use that term in quotation marks, 1 world championship in that stretch. But what people forget is how much more difficult the ride to the World Series is in divisional play and now wild card play. Back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, if you won the American League, you went right to the World Series. You didn't have to worry about meeting a team in the first round or second round where you could get wiped out.
That's why Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford had so many World Series records, because of the accumulation of at-bats and innings pitched and games started.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Is that just missed Ender, who has had a good day with a 2-for-2 afternoon.
Jason's a good writer. I like reading his work.
You can catch him and so many other great writers on the Athletic website. Check out that article. I thought it was really intriguing and historical, especially on Chipper's special day today. The pitch is whacked toward first. Bellinger smoothly to his right makes the play and takes care of Ender for the first time today. 2 outs. And Dansby Swanson will be the hitter. It's also a bittersweet day in Braves history today. I want to send along our condolences to Tony Cloninger's family. Tony passed away at the age of 77.
No kidding. Oh.
And Tony, you might recall, threw the first pitch in Atlanta Braves history at Atlanta Stadium, April 12th, 1966. The Pirates beat the Braves 3-2. Cloninger threw all 13 innings, and the game was decided on a Willie Stargell homer. Cloninger, more famously in Atlanta, was known as the man that hit 2 grand slams in a game when he beat the Giants 17-3. Longtime coach with the Yankees, won 4 World Series rings, was a coach, scout, and in the player development department with the Boston Red Sox in his final days. And so we remember Tony Cloninger today for his remarkable contributions to the Braves franchise.
Our sympathies to the family.
Ball and a strike for Dansby Swanson. Braves in the home 6th inning. Stripling, now Hudson on the mound for Los Angeles. And taken low. Ball 2. Luis Gohara's on the mound today for Gwinnett. That was supposed to be a game started by Colby Allard today. But Gohara pitching well apparently. Last report he had 10 strikeouts midway through the game for Gwinnett. Austin Riley went 1 for 4 yesterday. And Scranton won that game 11-1. And that's under the hands of Dansby. He backs out of the way. 3 balls and a strike. Base is empty for Dansby Swanson. 3-1 is your count. And to straightaway center, and Kike Hernandez. He'll drift back. He'll put that away, and Hudson set down 6 straight. Newcomb back to work. To the 7th we go. Celebrate Chipper's Hall of Fame induction with the Chipper Hall of Fame poster pack. With this ticket package, fans get a limited edition Chipper Hall of Fame poster and a discounted $15 outfield ticket, good for the July 30th through August 1st series against the Marlins. Go to Braves.com now and get your game ticket and your poster today.
Got to be close to 40,000 here again today, doesn't there?
Pretty good shot. Braves will go over 1.5 million attendance. Excuse me, they'll go over 1.6 million in attendance with 33,000 or more today. That should be in the books, you'd think.
Yeah, they're going to draw somewhere around 160,000 or a little more for this series. That's wonderful.
And they've been treated to a great performance from Sean Newcomb, who's got Manny Machado leading off. Newcomb had 88 pitches after 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. It's kind of funny how the game works sometimes. Here you have Ross Stripling coming in, throwing all those strikes as Machado couldn't check his swing. The Braves tag him for 4 runs in 4 innings. Newcomb's thrown 38 balls, 53 strikes, and the Dodgers haven't sniffed anything against him yet. And a ground ball left side from one third baseman to another. There's the first out. Here's Kemp.
Johan made that look easy, didn't he? he really needed to cut that off and make it an easier play for him than for Dansby.
Kemp hitless in his return to Atlanta. He's 0 for 11. Made sure he had a clean grip and he let her rip for the first out. And that's dumped foul into the stands beyond the Braves dugout. Strike one.
There have been 4 ground ball outs today, all to Camargo, as Chan just reminded us.
Well, that stands to reason. Braves are putting a third baseman in the Hall of Fame. Third baseman today deserves all the attention. And Kemp quickly behind 0-2. Didn't swing at that one. That's in the dirt. A lot of industry scuttlebutt says today's going to be a bellwether day for the Washington Nationals. It was thought they had to go to Miami and have a really big series against the Marlins. Otherwise, they might be sellers. Well, they're in the 8th inning, losing 5-0. After winning the first 2 games of that set, they're in danger of splitting 4 games. And with 60 some odd games left and 2 teams to try to pass in the East, you wonder if the Lerner family is going to say, all right, let's move some of these assets and try to look ahead to 2019. Little pop into right. Markakis is coming, still coming. He's there. He's got it. 2 out.
The Marlins won on a hit last night from JT Realmuto that wasn't hit as well as Matt just hit that one. He just hit a little pop-up that dumped down the line, just barely fair, and the winning run crossed in the 10th inning.
And I asked Bryce Harper about it after the game, and he said very succinctly, well, if Realmuto was here, that wouldn't have happened. And he's right. The Nationals were apparently hot on the heels of JT Realmuto as Hernandez bats. Don Mattingly after the game said, you know what, we're identifying guys we want to keep and build around. They are not necessarily in Miami going to go into full unload mode here with a couple of days to go. They may still move some guys, but they think, Joe, in our conversations with people around the club, that quite obviously Realmuto's a guy they'd love to find a way to build around.
Well, we were told that they were going to ask him flat out, do you want to stay or not? And go from there.
To center. There's Ender. Newcomb had a uneventful 7th. Special game for a special talent, Sean Newcomb, who leads 4-0 on an absolutely gorgeous 84-degree day in Atlanta, Georgia. Weather rating a perfect Chipper Jones 10. Newcomb's thrown 100 pitches exactly so far in the game. And now Timothy Miller is going to make his way to the center of the diamond at SunTrust Park. And he will lead this big crowd in Atlanta in another stirring rendition of God Bless America. There's only one Timothy Miller, and here he is.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
He's simply the best, Timothy Miller, here in Atlanta, where the Braves enjoy a 4-0 lead. It's time now for the stretch at SunTrust Park.
The stretch is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts and in part by CarQuest Motor Oil.
Welcome to the stretch, brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Jerome and Nick out here on the set in the Battery on a special Sunday. Chipper Jones up in Cooperstown, and what's happening inside SunTrust Park right now. Nick Markakis in the game today, adding to his league leading hits and multi-hit games, and with the Cardinals playing tonight, snapping a tie for the most doubles in the league as well with Matt Carpenter.
Well, the offense got going today early. They came in hitting 175 in the last 4 games, hadn't been able to get anything going. The first inning, back-to-back doubles, got them on the board with 2 runs. Nick Markakis, 11th home run of the year, 2 more on the board. Sean Newcomb, wow, he settled in nicely. Easily the best we've seen him in quite some time. The fastball command a little shaky the last few games, but not today. He's been absolutely outstanding. 7 strikeouts, hasn't allowed that hit. I'm not jinxing it. I want him to continue to go. Season high, though, 111 pitches. He's at 100 right now. We'll see how far he goes.
And just the 1 walk today. Why is he so special this afternoon? What has separated him? He was outstanding his last outing, but he's even better today. Why?
It's about fastball command, and fastball command for him is really important. The changeup's been good. Barely thrown any curveballs. It all is set up by that fastball today. It's been really good.
All right, fingers crossed. Before we get you back up to Chip and Joe, here's a word from Advance Auto Parts.
Visit your nearest Advance Auto Parts store to get the quality parts you want from people that know a lot about them. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.
Fellas, thank you so much. Great job on the stretch. No bloopers, but a couple of blasts for the Braves today. Kurt Suzuki and Nick Markakis with run-scoring doubles. Nick also a 2-run homer. Changes for Los Angeles. Jock Peterson is in center field now for Los Angeles. And Eric Goodell is in his 29th game. He relieves Daniel Hudson, who faced 6 hitters and retired them all.
Yeah, Hudson looked good. Goodell worked last night, had a perfect inning with a strikeout.
So you heard Nick Green say high in pitches for Newcomb's 111. He's got 100 even after 7. He'll start off the 7th inning, then Acuna and Albies to follow. And fouled off his foot. It's 0-2. That's strike 3 called, and there's out number 1.
Visit Synovus for your banking, lending, and investing needs. Synovus, the bank of here.
So Goodell gets the first man he faces like Hudson did on strikes. Now Ronald Acuna bats. Acuna 0 for 2 with a walk. Talking to the Dodger people as the deadline approaches in the next couple of days, one thing they are looking for is to bolster their bullpen. Get in line. There's just about every contender who's trying to do that. But you can't do any better than Hudson and Goodell have done so far. 8 up, 8 down. As Acuna is retired for the 3rd time, and Ozzie Albies is coming up. Brandon Morrow was such a big part of their bullpen last year. Pitched in every game in the World Series last season. I think he pitched in every playoff game that the Dodgers played in last year.
I have.
But left to go to Chicago, where he was the Cubs closer before getting hurt. So that might be a point of focus for LA. A bridge guy to help them get to Kenley Jansen. Who is a terrific closer in his own right. But all that stuff's predicated on how good your starting pitching is. And in this series for LA, it's been downright excellent. In 4 games, the Dodgers starters have given up 5 runs to the Braves. Rich Hill, none in 7 innings. Clayton Kershaw, 1 in 7 2/3 innings. Alex Wood, no runs in 5 2/3 yesterday. Stripling, the odd man out, giving up 4 in his 4 innings. So here comes the 0-2 pitch to Ozzie. 2 outs, bases empty. And he laid off that high heat. Arizona's in San Diego later on tonight. The Diamondbacks a game and a half behind Los Angeles. The Cardinals host the Cubs in the Sunday night affair at Busch Stadium. Cubs have seen their lead in the Central trimmed to a half game. Bouncing ball foul. That's because Milwaukee's gone west and played well in San Francisco. Beat him 7-1 last night. Julius Chacin, a 3-hitter over 7 innings. Joe now 10-3.
He's been really good. What a good sign he was. You know, when the Braves had him, he pitched a couple of good ball games before he was traded away. Had good stuff. Big, strong guy. Can hit a little bit too.
The 1-2 is popped up into shallow right. And backpedaling nicely is Forsythe, and he puts it away. So we go to the 8th inning. Call your friends. Still 4-0. Pretty car and a pretty day. 4-0 Atlanta as we head to the 8th inning. It'll be Jock Peterson, Yasmani Grandal, and Yasiel Puig facing Sean Newcomb, who's thrown 100 pitches over 7 innings. They've had 1 base runner, have these Dodgers. That was a leadoff walk to Puig 1 inning ago. So Peterson the first, and he takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. Letter high, and Peterson wanted no part of that pitch.
All of their bench players were left-handed today, with the exception of Austin Barnes, their backup catcher. So we've already seen Bellinger. Here is Peterson. Utley, the other lefty.
He went around. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The Dodger bench has been one of their team's strengths entering action last night. Their bench players had tallied 47 pinch hits this year. Remarkable work. It stands to reason there are so many interchangeable parts on this Dodger roster that everybody stays sharp and stays fresh. But Newcomb has Peterson behind here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's out of play, foul. Braves do have some guys standing around and stretching out in the bullpen. Nobody's throwing yet. Newcomb's career high in pitches is 111. He's at 104, starting with Peterson.
Got ahead 1 and 2. Made him look funny on a check swing, and the temptation probably would be to throw him a curveball. He's had a good one today, but he's come back with 2 straight fastballs. Let's see what happens here. 2 and 2.
Right to the shortstop. Braves had him played perfectly. There's number 1 in the 8th. Alumni weekend, as you know, coming up in mid-August. Join us for the Chipper Jones pregame ceremony, the softball home run derby, and photos on the field. Braves.com, the place to go for your alumni weekend tickets.
You know, that rough patch that Sean went through right before the All-Star break, I give him a lot of credit. I give Chuck Hernandez a lot of credit of working through that. And I give Kurt Suzuki a lot of credit today with the game he's called, and he's put down that only 1 finger for the fastball most of the day.
There's another one, and Grandal late, 0-2.
It's kind of what Grandal did in the first inning, or his first at bat, I should say. He ultimately grounded out to third, but he fouled off a bunch of pitches.
Back to the mound. That'll help. Lob to first. 2 are out.
Crowd getting into it. 40,303. Over 160,000 people for this series. Way to go, Braves country.
It was great. Here's Puig, the only Dodger to reach base. That was on a walk.
And it looked like Sean was trying to stay away from him. Everything that missed was outside.
At the knees, good velocity, perfect location, strike 1. So he's equal his career high in pitches. And
he's got a lot left, Chip.
I was going to say, we talk so much about stress.
Yeah. The ball's coming out of his hand quickly, easy, and he's working quickly.
1-1 pitch.
He's not walking around behind the mound, you know, trying to catch his breath. He's just dealing.
Puig just came off the DL with an oblique, and now he's twisting after that aggressive swing. And listen to the crowd in Atlanta. Still 2-2. An incredibly efficient performance from Sean Newcomb, who has a sign he likes the pitch. And Puig took it high.
And if you're a Braves fan, you've really got to like what you have seen the last 2 games from the Braves' young lefties. Max Fried, who was outstanding last night, and certainly Sean today.
He got him!
And he humped up and let it rip.
8 very special innings for Newcomb. With this package, fans get a limited edition Chipper Hall of Fame poster and a discounted $15 outfield ticket. That's good for the Marlins series. Go to Braves.com now. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, and Kurt Suzuki are coming up. It's all Atlanta, 4-0. Freddie singled in the first, scored ahead of Markakis' double. The pitch, as this one's bounced foul at first.
Braves did what they were really good at in the first inning, getting a 2-out rally going, put the first 2 runs on the board. Those numbers you see there across the top for the Dodgers is what's important now.
No balls, 2 strikes for the Braves first baseman. And Goodell delivers in the dirt. One ball, 2 strikes. And way upstairs for Freddie as the wind picks up and starts to blow toward the left field corner. And off the screen, Freddie's still alive here.
Goodell's rushing it up there. That was 93.
Miami shut out Washington. That's a final 5-0. The Marlins come back and win the last 2 of that 4-game series. Miami will make their way to Atlanta for a game tomorrow night. As Freddie didn't chase, it's low, full count.
Like I said, Urania was due at home.
He was.
How many times have the Nationals been shut out?
Oh, you had that stat.
Isn't it like 10 or 11?
It's 10 or 11, and I think they had 7 all of last year. So a full count pitch for Freddie. And that's around the plate, ball 4. Markakis coming up. Let's check in with Jerome.
Thank you, fellas. Our Xfinity game break takes you up to Cincinnati. They're a strike away from going final. This is Scooter Gennett, the big blast, a 2-run shot. Luis Castillo and 3 relievers combining to shut out Philadelphia so far. They're only a strike away. Reds up 4-0 in the ninth.
Great job, Jerome. Thank you very much. Could be a very productive day for the Braves. Pick up a game on the Phillies and the Nationals, who are in 3rd place. Markakis has had a big day, a couple of extra base hits, his 41st multi-hit game of the year. And that's up and away, ball 1. Boy, a lot of shutouts working today. That's beating the Pirates 1-0 in the 8th. Colorado's up 3-0 on Oakland. Here it's 4-0 Braves in National League action. And a ground ball off the glove of Bellinger. That trickles into shallow right. Throw back towards second. Everybody's safe.
Freddie's walk snapped a string of 10 straight Braves retired. Another leadoff man reaches, and that brings Nick up to hit one hard off the glove of Bellinger. So another little rally started here by the middle of the order.
Kurt Suzuki knocked in his 33rd run in the first inning. Boy, that was instrumental today. Give Sean Newcomb some early runs to play with. And he set him up and knocked him down. First 15 in a row were retired by the Braves lefty today. And a good off-speed pitch had Suzuki out in front, strike 1. 0-1 your count. 2 on, nobody out. The 0-2 pitch is lifted toward right and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. It's bang foul at third. And we will do it again. And Nash report, Sean Newcomb down in the tunnel, cooling off, getting ready for the 9th inning. He'll have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters scheduled for Los Angeles. To center. And Peterson will handle that lazy fly ball. No advance by the runners. There's the first out. And here's Camargo. Johan is 0 for 3, struck out and bounced out twice. Swing and a miss. 10 hits, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 6 runs in Johan's last 8 games for the Braves. As we told you, the RBI leader on the club since June the 1st with 29 of his 44. And slicing out of play left side. And it's 0-2. Sean is back, pondering Forsythe, Bellinger, and Taylor. And now the 0-2 pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. And Johan couldn't resist a high fastball. So after the walk and infield hit, there's the second out of the inning, and Ender is up. He'll try to extend a 2 for 3 day at the plate.
And he's had a good day. Both hits very sharply hit. And even the ground ball out was hit hard.
Ender with 3 hits in the series. 5 hits this year against the Dodgers. The pitch pops out of Grandal's glove, but no advance. 1 ball, no strikes. The game in Cincy has gone final. As Jerome told you, the Reds were in command over the Phillies. They shut them out 4-0 was the final score. Braves could be a game and a half out entering action tomorrow if they can secure 3 more outs behind Sean Newcomb. way high, ball 2.
Working on that bubble gum, but not any conversation going on.
Nope. Snap throw back towards second and way high. Three balls, no strikes. Taking all the way. Now it's full count.
See if with a 4-run lead, if Brian Snitker rolls the dice, well, it's 2 outs. Of course they will be going. I was thinking there was only 1.
Markakis at first, Freddie at second. Goodell has his sign, and here it is. It's out of play. What a contrast in performances for Newcomb. What a contrast in weather conditions for Newcomb. Compare this to Yankee Stadium, where he couldn't feel his hand. He was just dripping with sweat. Today, comfortable weather and uncomfortable at bats for the Dodgers.
And a little bit of breeze, too, to kind of help dry the perspiration when he was out there.
So we'll do it again with a full count. Goodell ready, and again the runners lead. And here we go. 3-2 pitch. Is bounce left side. Machado's got it. He'll throw on the run. And here we go to the 9th inning. Sean Newcomb chases history at SunTrust Park. All you need to know after 8 innings, Newcomb Joe has thrown 117 pitches. How's he gotten to the ninth?
How about this? 88 of his pitches fastballs. That's 75.2% of the game has been fastballs. It's been awesome.
So Logan Forsythe will be the Dodger batter leading off the 9th inning. Forsythe, Bellinger, and Taylor. High pop fly into left field. Acuna says he's there, shielding his eyes. There's the first. Here's Bellinger. He came in the game in the 5th inning. And as you saw in that pitch distribution, Bellinger is retired on one of the few curveballs that Newcomb has thrown today.
Right. He did not start the game. Got behind in the count, and Sean put him away with a knee buckler.
Bell tie a strike
at 94.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Down the left field line. Now he's got him behind.
Had him reaching too. That was 94. His best pitch today has been his fastball.
Tried it there, but missed high. Even count. Just got a piece.
That was a big hook. Nice job by Bellinger to stay alive.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 9th inning. That's well foul down the left field line. Hard hit, but a bit of a groan from the crowd here at SunTrust Park. That was hit hard by Bellinger, but foul. Still 2-2.
Almost. Slider down and away, and again a good take by Bellinger, who's trying to stay alive and end this.
Popped him up. Markakis and Albies. Who wants it? It's going to be Nick. There's number 2. So it's Newcomb versus Chris Taylor. Everybody on their feet at SunTrust Park.
Taylor is fouled out to Markakis, flied to Markakis, and struck out. He has struck out more than any other Dodger. Ooh. And of course Machado on deck.
Taylor got a close call there. 1 ball, no strikes at 95 miles an hour. Now it's even.
That pitch number 130. No sign of fatigue, pounding that fastball in there.
One more strike.
He has lived up in the zone today with that fastball. Kurt wanted it up there, and he got a foul ball. He's in good shape.
The sellout crowd will tell you the story. It was high. It's 2-2. Newcomb ready. Now steps off. The 2-2 pitch. Lifted toward right. Long run. Freeman and Markakis. That one will leak into the stands, however, and Taylor gets another hack.
Sean shook off a fastball, wanted the change up. And Taylor did a nice job of getting a piece of it and staying alive. Dodgers know exactly what's going on. They're trying everything they can to battle to try to put the ball in play and break this up and spoil it.
Another 2-2. It's a base hit. So Chris Taylor on a 2-2 count with a clean single past a diving Johan Camargo spoils the no-hit bid of Sean Newcomb, and that'll be the end of the line. What a day for the Braves' young left-hander.
Shades of Shelby Miller in Miami a few years ago. 2 outs in the ninth.
And Mike Fultonevich in Oakland. It's almost impossible to overshadow the Hall of Fame, but Sean Newcomb came awfully close on a gorgeous afternoon in Atlanta. Hit, and Chris Taylor banged a 2-2 single through the left side of the infield. A clean hit, the only hit and only the second base runner the Dodgers had today.
Heartbreaking. He was there and had it.
So Dan Winkler will come on. Taylor will take second base. He's now public enemy number 1 here in Atlanta.
Yeah, but it was a clean single.
Yep. And now you got to get Machado and get this one salted away in the win column. Braves lead at 4-0. Winkler will hope for an uneventful quick outing, and then we'll get set for the Marlins. 1 ball, no strikes for the Dodger third baseman. And ball 2. There have been 3 no-hitters in Major League Baseball this year. Sean Manaea of Oakland turned in the first one April 21st against the Red Sox. The Dodgers had a combined no-hitter on May 4th against San Diego. As this one's lined over third, a base hit. And that's going to bring home Taylor, and that run belongs to Newcomb. So it's now a 4-1 game. And then James Paxton, the Big Maple for Seattle, no-hit Toronto on May the 8th. So folks around baseball look at Newcomb's line and say, wow, 8 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. And that is just a tiny fraction of how good he was today, with basically all 4 pitches working. But Joe, they were all so good he needed just 2 of them for the most part.
Yeah, he didn't even have to use his secondary pitches much.
So the Braves let Machado move up, as Matt Kemp is the hitter. Pitcher's spot follows Kemp. He was 0 for 3 and 0 for Atlanta. He's 0 for 12 in the 4 games. The pitch. He is grounded toward third. Camargo's got it. He'll fire across to first in time, and that's your ball game. Sean Newcomb, the star of the show. 8 2/3 innings of 1 hit, 1 walk ball. He picks up his 10th win, and Atlanta picks up a game on the Phillies in the East. We'll recap a special day at SunTrust right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer, the Georgia Lottery, and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by slowing down behind the wheel.